In this video, I would like to teach you how to correctly pronounce 10 of the most commonly mispronounced words related to business. These are words that people use at the workplace every day. And even my most advanced English students who are already working in the United States are still making some of these pronunciation mistakes. Let's see how you do with these words. First, we will learn how to pronounce the words, and then, as always, we will practice saying them in natural-sounding sentences so that you can practice word stress and linking words together so that your accent can sound as good as possible. Let's get started. Let's see how many of the words you can pronounce correctly. If you only make 1 or 2 mistakes in pronunciation, that means that your accent is really good and your English pronunciation is really advanced. First, you will see the word on the screen and I will pause to give you time to say the word. And then I will say it correctly so that you can compare your pronunciation with my pronunciation. Let's get started. Look at the first word. These are actually 2 pairs of words. One is a verb and one is a noun. How do we say them? The first word is easier for most people. It's analyze. Analyze. But the second word is analysis. We stress the second syllable and we don't say analysis. That's the common mistake. Listen again. Analyze. Analysis. Reduce that first A. It's not analysis, it's analysis. The second pair of words is similar. We have a verb and we have a noun. Can you say them? Listen. Execute, executive. For the noun, we stress the second syllable, executive. And for the verb, we stress the first syllable, execute. The other difference between these 2 words is the pronunciation of the letter X. Listen carefully. Execute. That's a KS sound. But the X in executive has a GZ sound, GZ, executive. Execute, executive. Why does that happen? It depends on which syllable is stressed when you have the letter X. Let's say them again. Execute, executive. Did you know that one? The next one is difficult for some people depending on your native language. How did you say it? Did you stress the second syllable? And did you reduce the O at the end? Listen. Develop. Develop. And the common mistake would be to say something like develop. Don't stress that last syllable and don't pronounce the O. The O becomes a schwa sound. It's a reduced vowel. Develop. The next word looks easy, but actually it's not. How do you say it? There are 2 things you need to pay attention to. The O sound and the U sound. The O is not O, it's not focus. It's O, focus. It's like an OU. Round your lips, push them forward. Fo. And then we reduce the U. So we say focus. It's the same reduction that we made in the word developed. The O was reduced because we don't stress that syllable. Listen again. Focus. Focus. I need to focus on that. Don't say focus. Let's look at the next word. How do you say it? The problem here is with the QU. The QU are pronounced as KW, 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 KW. And that's hard for some people, especially because after the W, there's another O and then another U. Quo, quote, quote. Please give me a quote. Let's say it again. Quote. Make sure you leave enough space between the K and the W. Quote, quote. I'd like a quote on that. And quote means an estimate of the costs. Let's look at the next pair of words. Are they similar? Are they the same? Or are they completely different? What do you think? They're very different. That first word is confusing for a lot of people, but it's pronounced exactly as sweet. Sugar is sweet. Candy is sweet. There's no difference in pronunciation. We usually use that word when we talk about a hotel suite. It's more than just one room. Also, when you go to an office building and you want to know the number of the office, you can say, which suite number is it? Can you give me the number of the suite? And the second word is slightly different in British English compared to American English. British people say suit, suit. Americans say suit. Exactly like the word soon. It's sue, suit. Just that last consonant is different. Suit. He is wearing a business suit. Or that executive suite is suitable for us. Suitable. How do you pronounce the next word? What did you do with those two O's? Those two O's can be a problem. They're not pronounced the same. One is O and one is A. Listen, co-wa, co-wa, cooperate. Please cooperate with us. And to connect those two O's, we insert a small W sound, co-wa. It helps to connect the two vowels together. Listen, cooperate. Please cooperate with us. Thank you for your cooperation. How do you say these two words? What did you do with that final S? Did you pronounce it as a Z or as a S sound? Did you say increase or increase? A common mistake is for my students to make it into a Z sound, but actually it's an S. Increase, decrease. But the other thing that can be difficult about these words is that if they are verbs, we stress the second syllable. We say increase, decrease. But if they're nouns, the first syllable is stressed. Increase, decrease. I received a salary increase. Listen, increase, increase. Decrease, decrease. Make sure that you stress the different syllable depending on if it's a verb or if it's a noun. Let's look at the next two words. How do you say them? In the second word, we stress that double E. We stress the last syllable, employee. He's a very good employee. He's employed at that company. He's a very good employee. The general rule is when we have a double E at the end, that syllable is stressed. For example, trainee, refugee, employee. How do you pronounce the next word? And now, let's say it with two other words. And now, let's say it in past tense. This is something that people say all the time, right? But so many of my students get it wrong. The U is the problem. Most people say figure, but it's actually figure, figure, figure. So we say, I want to figure it out. I'd like to figure it out. And then in the past tense, it can be even more tricky because we have that D and we have to connect it. It's something we say all the time. I figured it out. I finally figured it out. That D at the end and then the T, those are pronounced exactly the same in American English because both the D and the T are between two vowels. Figured it out. So we have the U and then the D and the T. Let's say it again. Figured it out. Figured it out. How did you do? If you only made one or two mistakes, congratulations, your American pronunciation is really good. And now, let's practice saying them in natural sounding sentences. Pay attention to how I connect the words. Pay attention which words I stress and which words I reduce. Let's get started. Listen and repeat. Number 1. The investor wants a detailed analysis of all the costs. If you notice, I connected the with investor and we said the investor. And then we connected detailed analysis. Listen again. The investor wants a detailed analysis of all the costs. Number 2. He's one of the executives at the firm. Same thing here. We don't say the executives, we say the executives. And remember to include that final S, because when we say one of, we always add the S to the noun. Listen again. He's one of the executives at the firm. Number 3. Let's try to develop a better strategy. Listen again. Let's try to develop a better strategy. Number 4. They focused on developing a superior product. And let's connect focused and on, and let's say focused on. Listen again. They focused on developing a superior product. Number 5. Let's get a quote for their services. And we're going to say get a instead of get a. And we're going to reduce for and their. We're going to stress quote and services. Listen again. Let's get a quote for their services. Number 6. We booked an executive suite at the hotel. Executive suite is a compound noun, so we stress the word executive. We booked an executive suite at the hotel. Number 7. We will cooperate with the investigation. Again, we have the plus a vowel, so it becomes the investigation. Let's say it again. We will cooperate with the investigation. And number 8, let's repeat both the noun and the verb. The executive got a salary increase. Notice we didn't say increase, we said increase. And salary increase is a compound noun, so we actually stress salary more than the word increase. Let's do it again. The executive got a salary increase. And now let's say it as a verb. They increased his salary. They increased his salary. Number 9. The government employees got a pay raise. Pay raise is a compound noun, so we stress pay. Let's do that again. The government employees got a pay raise. And number 10. We finally figured it out. We finally figured it out. The best way for you to practice is for you to create your own sentences. And don't only say them 2 or 3 times. Repeat the same sentences maybe 10 or 15 times. That will make your mouth muscles stronger, and you will develop a habit of being able to say these words naturally. That's the best way to improve your accent. Keep practicing. Thanks for watching.